There's been controversy surrounding this release. What are your deepest fears, if you have any?
My only fear is to make my readers feel safe. If they feel safe, I fail to do my job. My job is to scare you, keep you guessing, make your stomach turn. If I can do that, then I can make the pages turn themselves. And that's it.
It's the whole train heist, Baba double the price. She ain't running, man, as long as all my dice. We want big money. We want big money. It's the whole train heist, Baba double the price. She ain't running, man, as long as all my dice. We want big money. We want big money.
Hi, my name is Subz, the writer, and I'm a writer slash novelist slash author, screenwriter, and entrepreneur. I started writing at the age of 19 years old, and by the age of 23 I released my first horror novel called The Spirit of Gary Oliver, and I became the first South African, black South African author to release a horror novel in South Africa. By the age of 24 I released my second novel titled The Exit Interview, which is actually an anthology of 10 of my best short stories. And at around 24, 25 years old, was about the time when I started writing The Cow Train Heist, which is my third novel, and which will be released on the 2nd of August this year. I think I fell in love with writing at the age of 19, 20 when I just got started. I wrote my first short story called Saving Cabo Mayo, and the response that I got from family and friends was a tremendous amount of, a confidence booster for me. And after that, I was urged to actually enter a short story competition hosted by SAWC, which is the South African Writing Circle, and I won that competition. And from there, I just grew in confidence. My biggest inspiration, I think, is my dad, first and foremost. He's my vessel, my strength, my source of strength, and my source of wisdom. You know, I owe a lot to that man. And but in terms of literature, I'm inspired by guys like Stephen King, Chinua Achebe, the founding father of the African novel. I was inspired by guys like Charles Dickens, Ernest Hemingway, J.K. Rowling as well. And yeah, for me, those are my writing gods, you know. The Cow Train Heist is my third novel. It's a crime thriller novel. It's a story about liberation, a story about the fight for economic freedom, and a story that has a lot to do with South African politics and political espionage. But at the same time, this is a story about crime and a story about the biggest transit robbery the world has ever seen. With this story, with this book, I really tried to take my writing to the next level. And as an artist and as a storyteller, I really tried to bring something different into my game this time around. So I came up with the idea of the Cow Train Heist when I was actually on the Cow Train. This was about 2014, and I started writing it after about 6 or 7 months of research. And you know, it was a long journey and a lot of writing. But I was able to turn this into this at the end of the day. And the other interesting thing about the Cow Train Heist is that it's the first novel to come out with a soundtrack in history. So that's never been done before, which I think is a big milestone for South African literature and South Africa in general. The Cow Train Heist novel will be available on the 2nd of August of 2016 in all major bookstores nationwide. And we're also embarking on a national book tour, book/music tour, whereby the artists that are featured on the soundtrack will be performing at each event, and as well as the book signings. I think people can get a hold of me on Facebook at Subz the Writer, on Twitter at Subz the Writer as well, and on my website www.subzthewriter.com.
Excuse me, sir. Just one more question, please.
Reading and writing is knowledge, and knowledge is power. With that power, there are no limits to what a person can achieve.
It's the whole train heist, baba double the price. She ain't running, and as long as my dice, we want big money.